Pathetic. You can't even hold a glass without spilling it. No breakfast, no lunch, nothing for you today.
She starved him. She mocked him. She told a 10-year-old boy he was worthless.
Please, just some water.
Get it yourself. Oh wait, you can't, can you?
No one else heard. No one else saw. But the camera did. And when the truth came out, her cruelty was answered with humiliation. A brutal haircut she would never forget. Subscribe to Barber Stories for the full episode, because every haircut hides a story, and some are darker than you think.
His name was Ethan Cole, 10 years old. A boy with fragile bones, a crooked leg, and a smile too big for the pain he carried. He could not run with the other children, could not climb trees, could not chase soccer balls through the street. But Ethan had something far more rare, a heart still full of trust. That trust was about to be broken. Every evening, Ethan rolled himself to the dinner table, small hands pushing the wheels of his chair. He looked forward to mealtime, not just for the food, but for the chance to feel normal.
Eat faster. Stop staring at your plate like an idiot.
Her voice, sharp as glass, always cut through the air. She glared at him, lips curled in disdain.
You think you deserve this. You spill it, you starve. Understand?
And just like that, his dinner was gone.
Thank you for taking care of him while I'm at work. I couldn't do this without you.
Of course, darling. He's like my own son. Don't you worry.
But when David left the house, when the door clicked shut behind him, her sweetness curdled into poison.
You're pathetic. Look at you. Can't even walk. Useless.
I can try harder.
No one wants you. Not your real mother, not me. You're lucky your father pities you.
The words dug deep, sharper than any blade. Ethan bowed his head, fighting back tears. He had learned one lesson well. Silence kept him safe, or at least safer. That night, his stomach twisted with hunger. He clutched his blanket, listening to the faint buzz of the refrigerator downstairs, locked away from him. His body begged for food, but his heart begged for something else: kindness. The breaking point came with a mistake too small to matter, a simple accident. Ethan's trembling hand knocked over a glass of milk.
Unbelievable. You can't do a single thing right.
She towered over him, her shadow falling across his small frame.
I'm sorry. I'll clean it up.
No. No breakfast, no lunch, nothing today. Maybe hunger will teach you.
She sealed the fridge, shut the cupboards, and left Ethan to sit there, his stomach growling, his eyes wet with tears he dared not shed aloud. No one heard his cries. No one saw the cruelty. At least, not yet. Because soon, there would be eyes watching. Eyes that never blink. Eyes that never lie. The camera. That night, David came home to silence. The house was neat, the kitchen spotless. Dinner was simmering on the stove. But Ethan, his boy, sat pale and withdrawn, hands folded tight in his lap.
Hey, buddy, did you eat? You look hungry.
I had some.
The words were soft, too soft, a lie that didn't sound like Ethan at all. In the kitchen, his wife moved with grace, humming as though she had spent the whole day in kindness. Her smile was wide, practiced, perfect. But David's stomach tightened. Something didn't fit. Sleep never came for David that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Ethan's hollow cheeks. He heard his weak, halting words. Finally, he rose from bed, opened his office drawer, and pulled out a small black device. A camera. It wasn't meant for this. He had once used it for work projects. But tonight, it had a new purpose. He fixed it high on the living room wall, hidden among the shelves. A pair of eyes that would never sleep. The next day, the truth began to surface. Ethan wheeled himself carefully to the table. His hand reached for the breakfast plate.
Not for you. Not today.
But I'm hungry.
Then maybe you shouldn't have spilled milk yesterday. Actions have consequences.
Her hand was merciless, his breakfast gone in an instant. By noon, Ethan's stomach growled so loudly it seemed to fill the room. Still, no lunch came. He whispered a request.
Please, could I have some water?
Get it yourself. Oh wait, you can't, can you?
Her cruelty was precise. Not just neglect, but humiliation. Every word sharpened to cut. That evening, David returned, briefcase in hand. His wife greeted him with her usual smile.
Dinner's ready, and don't worry, Ethan ate earlier. Isn't that right, sweetheart?
Yes.
But David saw the truth in his son's eyes. Eyes clouded with fear, eyes that begged for rescue. When the house finally slept, David sat alone. He opened his laptop, hands trembling. One click, and the footage began to play. The evidence was undeniable. Frame by frame, it revealed the truth he had refused to see. His wife starving his child, mocking him, breaking him down piece by piece. David closed the laptop with shaking hands. The rage inside him was no longer quiet. It burned, violent and unrelenting. That night, David made a vow. He was not just Ethan's father anymore. He was his protector. And tomorrow,
The mask would come off. The next morning, the house carried a weight. Every tick of the clock sounded louder. Every step felt heavier. David sat at the dining table, laptop resting in front of him. His wife moved through the kitchen, humming, pretending life was normal. But nothing was normal anymore.
Sit down. We need to talk.
Talk? Can it wait until after breakfast?
No, now.
Ethan was already there, sitting quietly in his wheelchair. His eyes darted between his father and stepmother. David's jaw was tight, his hand steady as he opened the laptop. With one motion, he pressed play. The room filled with the truth. Her voice sharp, cruel. Her laughter mocking. Ethan's tears echoing through the speakers. There was no escape.
Wait, no, that's not...
Not what it looks like. That's my son you're starving. That's my boy you're tormenting.
You don't understand. He's impossible. He's weak, always needing something.
He's 10 years old, and he's disabled. You were supposed to protect him.
Her mask slipped, and then the venom poured out.
He's nothing but a burden, a cripple dragging us all down. I never wanted him here.
The words shattered Ethan's heart. But for David, they lit a fire that would not be extinguished. David rose from his chair. His eyes never left her as he walked across the room. He opened a cabinet, reached inside, and pulled out something small, something electric. The sound tore through the silence like thunder.
David, please, what are you doing?
You stripped him of dignity. Now I'll strip you of yours.
He forced her into the chair. Her arms flailed, but his grip was iron. The cape snapped around her neck with finality. Ethan watched, wide-eyed, his small hands clutching his wheels.
David, no, please. I'll change, I swear. Don't do this to me.
No more lies. No more masks.
The clippers carved a raw path down the center of her head. Dark hair tumbled in heavy clumps, raining to the floor. Her scalp gleamed pale beneath the harsh morning light.
No, not my hair. Please stop.
Each pass of the clippers was justice. Each strip of bare skin was a verdict. She begged as her beauty was stripped away. She wept as her pride disappeared. But still, the clippers roared on. When it was over, she sat trembling. Her once perfect hair gone. Her hands rose to touch her scalp, bare and alien beneath her fingers.
Now you know what humiliation feels like.
Her sobs filled the room, raw and broken. But for the first time, Ethan lifted his head. His father had seen. His father had acted.
The punishment had begun, but justice was still to come.
The clippers went silent. The house stood frozen. Only her sobs remained. David's wife sat hunched in the chair, bald and broken. Her hands traced her bare scalp, each touch a reminder of what she had lost.
You've destroyed me.
No, you destroyed yourself.
His voice cut through the air, sharp and merciless. David reached for the laptop again. The evidence still burned across the screen. Every shove, every cruel word, every meal stolen. I could show this to the police.
I could make sure the world knows who you really are.
No, please, if anyone sees that, I'll lose everything.
You should have thought about that before you starved my son.
In the corner, Ethan lifted his head. Tears streaked his cheeks, but his eyes were different now. They carried relief. They carried hope. For the first time in months, his father had seen. David pulled out a folder, thick, heavy. He tossed it onto the table with finality.
Divorce papers. You'll sign them. You'll leave this house, and you will never come near my son again.
You can't mean this. David, we can fix it. We can...
There's no fixing cruelty. There's only consequences.
Her pale fingers trembled as she picked it up. The ink scratched across the page, her name spilling out like a confession she could never erase. When it was done, the papers lay there, signed, sealed, final. By nightfall, she was gone. Her pride stripped away, her reputation shattered, her future uncertain. In the silence that followed, Ethan wheeled himself closer. David knelt down, his hands resting gently on his son's shoulders.
You're safe now, buddy. I promise. No one will ever hurt you again.
And for the first time, Ethan let himself believe it. The boy who had cried alone in the dark finally whispered words his father would never forget.
Thank you, Dad.
The days that followed were different. David filled the kitchen with food, making sure his son never went hungry again. He rearranged the house for comfort, added safety rails, brought in a nurse for support. The house, once heavy with cruelty, grew lighter, warmer. And though Ethan's disability remained, his spirit began to heal. Slowly, steadily, his smile returned. Cruelty leaves scars. The bruises on Ethan's body would fade, but the wounds in his heart would take longer. Yet justice had been delivered. Humiliation had come full circle. The same blade she had once threatened to wield against him now stripped her bare. Because hair is more than hair. It is pride, identity, dignity. And when she took his dignity, David made sure hers was taken in return. The camera never lies, and in its unblinking truth, a father became a protector, and a boy found freedom. His stepmother walked away in shame. His father stood tall beside him, and Ethan Cole, once starved, mocked, forgotten, finally had a reason to smile.